that once regulations lapse, the government will no longer mandate the wearing of face masks anywhere. From tomorrow, we will no longer require face masks in classrooms, and the Department for Education will shortly remove national guidance on their use in communal areas.
The United Kingdom is saying farewell to all of its COVID-19 restrictions, and Ontario needs to do the same. That's right, on January 26, no more restrictions throughout the UK, Prime Minister Boris Johnson has just announced. Look, Canada's got to do it sooner or later. Might as well get it over and done with now, because there are people out there who are going to be reticent about this no matter what. There are going to be some voices out there who focus more on the negatives, focus on the doom and gloom, focus on the reasons to hold us back, as opposed to focusing on the reasons to make progress, to move forward, and to say, yes, we can do these productive steps that allow us to live again, to reopen, to see our children's smiles. I think one of the things that a lot of people don't really get is that saying that the end of a mask mandate is coming doesn't mean you're no longer allowed to wear your mask if you want. It just means people aren't going to be fined and denied entry and denied service if they choose not to wear masks.
In the country at large, we will continue to suggest the use of face coverings in enclosed or crowded spaces, particularly when you come into contact with people you don't normally meet, but we will trust the judgment of the British people and no longer criminalise anyone who chooses not to wear one.
You know, I have a number of friends in Florida right now, a lot of people from Ontario escaping to Florida, and they've actually told me the majority of people in Florida grocery stores that they've been to are wearing masks. I guess it depends on the day or week. Maybe those folks were seeing the headlines about Omicron variant spreading. They were a little nervous, so they chose to wear the mask. And there were stores in Florida where a majority of people were wearing masks. You hear all these headlines about Florida. You think no one's wearing masks, but apparently most people, at some points, some parts of the state, actually are. So there you go. Personal choice means the choice to decide what you want to do. Now, another good thing from the UK is that Boris Johnson embracing the positive news about Omicron variant receding, and also, here's the thing about it being less severe. For months now, we've had public health officials, the actual people running the show, telling the public, telling the media, you've got to stop fixating on case counts. It just doesn't matter as much anymore because they're not really concerned about double vaccinated or triple vaccinated people in their 30s or 40s catching a mild version of this, which we're now being told by many physicians that basically if you're double vaccinated, you catch an Omicron variant. For most people, it's like the flu. It's like having the cold. The only problem is a small percentage of people, according to Public Health Ontario, 0.5% of people who are acknowledged to have Omicron, and that's only the people who've tested positive, not all the other people out there who don't actually get tested but still have it. So the number's actually much smaller than this, but 0.5% of people end up in the hospital. Well, that's unfortunate. We wish them well. We hope it doesn't happen to them. And we want to be able to throw our hospital resources at them to help them get better, to help them recover. But what does that have to do with saying our kids can't play hockey, that their schools have to be closed down, that a restaurant owner has to veer into bankruptcy? We have poured hundreds of billions of dollars into dealing with COVID-19 since this began collectively as Canadian taxpayers. And the idea that we can't surge capacity to deal with some hospital challenges right now, that should be unacceptable to Canadians. They should demand more from the very well-paid senior hospital administrators and bureaucrats who are tasked with effectively managing the system and supporting the frontline heroes who are caring for COVID patients. So good news to see progress happening there in the UK. And should Ontarians say we should do that here? Yes, they should.